There is a moment almost every cat owner has experienced. You're sitting quietly, maybe reading, maybe watching television, and suddenly you feel a small paw resting gently on your arm. No claws, no urgency, just contact. And in that instant, a question forms in your mind that you've probably never fully answered. What does that paw touch actually mean? Most owners assume it's random, a twitch, a habit, something cats just do. But animal behaviorists say this simple gesture is actually loaded with meaning. And depending on the situation, it can mean 5 completely different things. Some of those meanings will surprise you. One of them might even change the way you see your relationship with your cat forever. Because here's the truth: cats don't waste movement. Every physical action carries intention, shaped by thousands of years of evolution and communication. And that paw on your skin, it might be your cat's most honest form of language. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to read it. But first, let's understand where this behavior even comes from. Have you ever noticed how kittens interact with their mother? From the moment they're born, paws become tools of connection. Kittens need their mother while nursing, a rhythmic pressing motion that stimulates milk flow and creates comfort. This is one of the very first physical relationships a cat ever experiences, and researchers believe this early bonding shapes how cats use their paws for the rest of their lives. So when your adult cat places a paw on you, it's not starting a new behavior. It's returning to one of the oldest emotional patterns cats have. Some behaviorists describe it as an echo of kittenhood, a subtle way of saying, "You make me feel safe, the way my mother once did." Imagine that for a moment, a simple paw touch, carrying emotional memory from the earliest days of life, that alone reshapes how ordinary the gesture seems. But paws aren't only about comfort, they're also incredibly sensitive instruments. Cats have scent glands located in their paw pads, and every time they press a paw against you, they may be leaving behind a faint trace of their own scent. Scientists studying feline communication suggest that this could be a subtle form of marking, a way for your cat to claim you as part of their territory, or more specifically, part of their family unit. Most owners never realize this. They assume marking only happens through rubbing cheeks or scratching furniture. But paws quietly do the same job, without most people ever noticing. So already, in just the first few moments of this exploration, we've uncovered 2 powerful truths: comfort and ownership. But that's only part of the story, because paw touches don't always mean the same thing every time. Context changes everything. Picture this scenario. You're in the kitchen, cooking dinner. Your cat sits nearby, watching intently, then reaches out and taps your leg. This is where most people misunderstand their cats. They assume it's affection, but in this situation it's often something far more practical. Hunger, a gentle nudge that essentially says, "I know food is happening, and I would like to be involved." Cats are incredibly perceptive. They understand routines, patterns, and timing. If a paw touch happens right before mealtime, it's rarely about love. It's about need. Now picture a different moment. You're lying on the couch, and your cat walks over, settles beside you, and softly places a paw on your chest while purring. This is a completely different emotional signal. Veterinary behaviorists often describe this as one of the purest signs of trust a cat can display. Vulnerability paired with touch. It's your cat saying, "I feel safe enough to be close to you." Here's where it gets fascinating. The exact same physical action, a paw touch, can mean completely opposite things depending on body language, timing, and environment. And this is exactly why so many owners misread their cats every single day. Let's slow down and look at the subtle signals that reveal the truth behind each touch. If your cat's ears are relaxed, their body is loose, and their tail moves slowly. This is almost always a bonding gesture, comfort, trust, affection. But if their ears are slightly forward, their eyes are wide, and their body leans toward an object like food or a toy, the paw touch becomes a request rather than affection. And there is a third possibility many owners never consider. Sometimes a paw touch is a boundary. If your cat pats you gently but their tail flicks quickly or their whiskers pull backward, they might be saying, "I need space." This is one of the most misunderstood signals in the feline world, because owners often assume touch always means closeness. But animals communicate boundaries too, and cats are no exception. What happens next surprises many owners. Some cats use their paws, not to request affection, but to gently interrupt something. Maybe you're on your phone too long, maybe you're focused on a task instead of them. A soft paw tap in this context can be a polite version of, "Excuse me, notice me." Cats are masters of subtlety. Unlike dogs, who often express needs loudly, cats use quiet, deliberate movements. A paw touch fits perfectly into their communication style, offering just enough contact to get your attention without demanding it. But there is another layer to this behavior that most people completely overlook: reassurance. Have you ever been upset, maybe crying, maybe stressed, and your cat walked over and placed a paw on you? Many owners describe this exact moment as one of the most emotional experiences they've ever had with their pet. Experts believe cats can sense shifts in human emotion through tone of voice, body posture, and even breathing patterns. When cats respond with a gentle paw touch during emotional moments, it may be an attempt to offer comfort, almost like emotional mirroring. This is where the story becomes deeply moving, because it means your cat isn't only communicating needs. Sometimes they're responding to yours. Let's bring all of this together, because now you have the tools to finally understand what your cat's touch really means. If the paw comes gently, with a relaxed body and soft eyes, this usually reflects affection and trust. If the paw comes with wide eyes, forward ears, and focus on an object like food, this usually reflects a request. If the paw comes quickly, paired with tension or retreat afterward, this often signals a boundary. And if the paw comes during an emotional moment, especially yours, this often reflects comfort and connection. Understanding these differences changes everything. It means you're no longer guessing. You're actually listening to your cat in a language you finally understand. From now on, pay close attention the next time your cat reaches out and touches you. Notice their eyes, notice their ears, notice their tail. These small details reveal the full meaning behind the gesture, because cats aren't silent creatures who simply exist beside us. They're constantly communicating, constantly reading us, and constantly reaching out in their own quiet way. That paw on your arm isn't random. It's a message shaped by instinct, memory, emotion, and trust. And once you understand it, you'll never look at your cat's touch the same way again. So the next time you feel that familiar gentle pressure on your skin, pause for a moment, look closely. Listen with your eyes. Your cat might be telling you something more meaningful than you ever imagined. Now, I'd love to hear about your own cat. Does your cat touch you often? Have you noticed different types of paw touches, and do you think you can tell them apart now? Share your experience in the comments, because every story helps other cat owners understand their pets a little better. If you enjoyed learning something new today, consider subscribing for more fascinating explorations into cat psychology and behavior. There is so much more happening beneath the surface of our feline companions than most people ever realize, because sometimes the smallest gestures carry the biggest meaning, and your cat has been trying to tell you this all along.